What's up guys, I'm glad to see you here today, and as you probably got it from the title, today I'm gonna walk you through the journey of becoming a content creator. Look, this video will be directed more towards video content creation, but if you want to start a newsletter or write a blog, I've done it too, and steps that I'm about to introduce to you in this video will apply to that as well. But before we start, you're probably asking yourself, why do I even listen to this guy and who gives him the authority to talk? Well, let me tell you about my content creation story and explain why tips that I'm about to share can be valuable for you as well. Alright guys, so I decided to change the location a little bit and get a little closer to the pool. Anyways, my creative journey started with helping YouTubers with thumbnails actually. You know, I always wanted to start my own business and offer some service to people, and I thought that YouTubers are very interesting and great people and it would be cool to work with them. So I learned a graphic design, how to use Photoshop, and started a thumbnail service. But after a while, I decided that I'll extend my arsenal and offer some more services, and that's when short form content creation and video editing came in play. Over the next 3 months, I helped awesome content creators to do the videos like this one, this one, or this one. To sum it up, help them to get over 50 million views on their short form content at the moment and help them to gain over 100,000 followers on different platforms. So I hope that gives me a little more credibility in your eyes, but also I felt like I wanted to be on that other side of the fence and produce the content myself. And I kind of felt dumb by not filming anything myself and offering to other people. So that's when I started my personal creative journey and started posting on Instagram, start writing a newsletter on Substack, uploading videos to YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. Obviously, all of that comes with a learning curve, but that's why you're watching this video and that's what I'm about to tell you. So let me quickly give you the agenda of this video. Firstly, we're gonna talk about biggest obstacle that stops probably 90% of people who want to start content creation. Secondly, I'll touch on where to look first. Thirdly, we will discuss how you can start. And then I'll try to give you a simple roadmap, and finally I'll share some useful tips that I use with my clients and that I use in my personal content as well. Before I go through that, make sure you smash that like button somewhere here, comment and subscribe to the channel. It will help me tremendously, and if you are serious about making content, I regularly post videos to this channel how to become a better content creator and self-improve yourself. So let's get to the video. Okay, so let's talk about the biggest obstacle. There's one thing above all the others that literally blocks people from starting to create content. You might think that there's a fear of being on camera, lack of knowledge or lack of experience, but no, it's completely something different. It is a fear of rejection. A fear that others will not understand what you're doing and talk crap about you. That's also a fear of making mistakes. And you know, it's not necessarily your fault. I mean, current educational system teaches us that mistakes are horrible, right? But if you look at the most successful people, they make the most amount of mistakes among all of us. Take Elon Musk and his recent launch. It failed, right? But is he gonna stop doing what he's doing? I don't think so. Does he care what you think about this failure? I don't think so either. You know, if you're scared of other people talking about you, you can literally lay in the room and stare in the ceiling. But even then, they're gonna talk about you because you're not doing anything. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But that's the problem. Now let's think how you can overcome it. Someone once said, we care about what other thinks in our 20s, in our 40s we don't care anymore, and in our 60s we're realizing that no one cared in the first place. So what's important is to get to that 60s mindset without getting to 60s obviously. You need to understand that there's nothing scary to do what you want to do, unless you obviously want to rob a bank or something. But filming and producing content is not scary. People do that every day. And another thing that other content creators who you're probably gonna network with will actually like what you're doing and respect you. Because they have been where you've been, they were starting their creative journeys in tiny rooms just as you might, you will actually get support and respect from those people to whom it might matter. So to conclude all of that, before learning any tips, tricks or other methods, change what's inside here. Change your mindset. Alright, it got a little too warm next to the pool, so now we'll continue inside. And let's touch a bit now on where to look first. As a very first thing, it is important to at least broadly understand what you want to post about. Look, I'm not saying that you need to nail down to the exact niche immediately, but there gotta be the thing that inside you are interested about and passionate about. I'm talking about your area of interest. You don't need to be subject matter expert in it, because if you decide to start posting about it, you'll probably gain a lot of knowledge and become one eventually. You know, a lot of YouTube influencers and creators advise to film literally about everything at first, which I kinda agree and disagree at the same time. On one side, it's really beneficial because it gives you the opportunity to feel more comfortable in front of the camera and, you know, put more volume, become more confident, better at editing, etc, etc. But on the other hand, it can literally become your idea's nightmare. When you're trying to do and being everything at once, you are doing nothing at once. When you decided for yourself that you're gonna film about everything, the very next moment you're finding yourself sitting on a chair for 20 minutes and deciding, am I gonna film a kitchen tour, am I gonna film an office tour, am I gonna gonna film, how I commute to work, etc, etc. What I would recommend is at least to nail it down to that next level. Have at least a broad understanding of what you're interested in and want to film about. Let's say that you're really tech savvy and that's your area of interest. If you worry that there's not enough ideas for this niche, let me break it down for you. You can film literally about everything tech related. About gaming, about IT things, about tech side of things, about the exterior of things. There's so many creative ideas that fall under the tech umbrella. And it solves that idea generating issue for you. Next time you will think what your video should be about, you know that it should be about tech. And then you don't need to wonder for hours what should you do. There's a good life example to do a parallel. Look, when you go to the restaurant and you see like 100 items on the menu, you don't know what to choose, right? However, if you go to Chick-fil-A, the choice is much more obvious. You know that you're gonna get a chicken sandwich and you know that you're gonna be happy with it and you don't need to think for hours about what you're gonna get. And just to help you a little bit with that, guys, I'll put a list of top 10 most popular niches on YouTube somewhere here on the screen. There's digital marketing here, educational content, lifestyle, cooking, fitness and bodybuilding, video games. You have so many options to start and I bet what you want to do will fall under one of those umbrellas. Later down the road, when you're more advanced and serious about that, you can nail it even more down and literally become a go-to for people who are interested in that. However, this video is more a beginner's guide, so we're gonna keep that story for another day. So let's say that you're mentally prepared for the journey already and you chose your broad niche. What comes next, right? How do you actually start? So to upload your first video, you need to film it first. Makes sense, right? Idea, that small but powerful thing that starts it all, right? Anyways, where do you get that idea from? And here's where the problem arises. I see a bunch of starting creators worried about borrowing others' ideas because they're thinking they're stealing it. But that cannot be farther from the truth, and let me break that myth down for you. Ali Abdaal, one of the most popular YouTube creators, once tweeted, "There are no unique messages, just unique messengers." And that's exactly what it is. You don't need to waste hours and hours of your time to trying to figure out some unique or original idea, because the chances are high that at the end of the day you're not gonna come up with any. But what you can do instead is to borrow the idea and present it your unique way. I mean, even creators on the highest levels are borrowing ideas from each other. If you open TikTok right now and click on any of the trending sounds, you will see hundreds of the videos that are looking exactly the same with the exact same dance. However, hundreds of those videos are getting tons of likes, tons of comments, and great results in general. And you're probably wondering, it's stupid, it's the same stuff, right? Well, not exactly. The audience of the certain creator cares only about this certain creator. They don't care about this trend in general and how other people are doing that. What they want to see is the creator doing that, which just highlights the fact that there are only unique messengers. That being said, let's get back to the topic, where do you get the idea from? What works greatly for me is to open the app of your choice where do you want to post content and find some popular content creators in your niche. You can do that by either typing keywords in a search bar or just looking up the names if you know any of the people. You know what? Let's do it right now together. So I'm just gonna open YouTube and let's type cooking in the search bar. And here you have it, all the ideas that you can use for your videos. Right here, quick meals when you don't feel like cooking. And if you are still worrying about being a copycat, you can do quick meals for college student or something like that. Or right here, maybe you have a bigger budget and you can test some kitchen appliance, right? Maybe your grandma knows a good recipe and you want to share it with people. You got the vibe, right? It's easier than ever before to generate ideas for your content. With so many content already existing on internet, there's no excuses to ask yourself what should I post about. Don't worry about being a copycat, especially when you're a beginner. Because remember, people are doing that on every possible level. And now let's move to the roadmap. Okay, we got the idea out of the way, we determined what we're gonna film our first video about, how we actually do it, and where do we post it. And here is the point when you need to educate yourself a little bit. Video editing and filming come with a little learning curve. I'm not saying that it's super hard and complicated, but there's some basics that you need to know. I'm not gonna talk about it in this particular video, but let me give you some resources that can help you with that. First, you can just go to YouTube and type "how do I film content?" As you know, YouTube is free and it will give you so much information that you will know what to do with it. Secondly, if you want more detailed explanation and kind of organized structure, there's an awesome app called Skillshare. I'm personally using Skillshare for a while now. It comes with an annual membership, but believe me, it's worth it. There are dozens of subject matter experts there like Ali Abdaal or Marcus Brownlee who will teach you the basics and show you how to do it the proper way. So for now, let's just assume that you know how to film content and how to edit content, and now you're just wondering where to upload it. Is it Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok, Substack? I mean, there's dozens of apps that you can use. But you probably remember our principle. When you're trying to be everywhere, you are nowhere. And that being said, let me share with you what I'm doing, and then you can do some more additional research or take that information and make your own decision. YouTube is generally used for longer form content that goes pretty deeply into storytelling, and consequently it requires more time and effort. Instagram is great for short form content and for building your audience. That you can later, by the way, direct to YouTube. As you know, Facebook and Instagram is basically the same company, so you can actually sync those two apps, and every time you upload something to Instagram, it will upload to Facebook as well. Which is kinda useful because you're basically growing two profiles at once. Later down the road, when you're a more advanced content creator and more proficient, you can actually create unique content for both platforms. But when you're just starting, it's fine to sync them and upload the same stuff across platforms. TikTok is awesome for the short-form content, and they just currently introduce videos up to 3 minutes long. So maybe if you're doing YouTube, you can upload long chunks of your video to TikTok as well. If we're talking about more B2B stuff, you can use LinkedIn, and Pinterest is great if you want to talk about some aesthetic stuff. The truth is, I can go on hours and hours explaining every platform individually, but that's not what I'm trying to do right now. And if you're not sure where to upload it yet, I would recommend you to focus on only 1 or 2 social media platforms and just put your time and effort into there first. Later down the line, you will be able to see if that's exactly what you want to do or you want to switch to another one. And that was our short but sweet instruction regarding roadmap. And lastly, let me touch on a couple useful tips and tricks that I use with my clients and with myself, and that you can utilize as a beginning content creator. The main thing that I would recommend you is not to be focused on results. Look, it might sound crazy because we've all been taught to set goals, right? But here's the difference. I never said that you don't need to set goals. I'm just saying that those goals should not be tied to the results. Link those goals to actionable steps. That way, instead of setting a goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, you are setting a goal to post content daily. You cannot control this goal, but you can control this goal. And it's way more beneficial to break down what you need to do to reach that 1,000 subscribers and later focus on those actions rather than a number. Now let me tell you about second tip. All of the successful content creators that I work with share one exact thing. They are all lifetime learners. They all study the game and evolve. Look, digital world is changing constantly. What was popular before might not be popular now. So you need to be a lifetime learner to notice those differences and educate yourself how you can use them for your own advantage. And lastly, as a beginning content creator, focus on quality over quantity. And here's why. The more volume you produce, the more comfortable and skillful you're becoming in front of the camera. The more advanced you're becoming at video editing. And the most important, you're learning about yourself more. And you're figuring out what you actually like talking about and what you don't like talking about. What you enjoy to do and what you don't enjoy to do. Look, at the end of the day, even when social media becomes your income source, it is extremely important to enjoy the journey and actually do and speak about what you love or passionate about. Alright guys, so that was a short guide on how to become a content creator. I'm clearly aware that some of that information is pretty limited, but just as I mentioned, become a lifetime learner. Watch 2, 3, 5 videos on how to become a content creator. Don't ever stop learning and educating yourself. But also remember that knowledge is only a potential power. Actual power includes actions. So make sure you are converting this knowledge into actions and actually doing something. And remember, don't set your mind on results, but rather focus on actionable steps. Thank you so much for all of you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.